Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here on Sam's Crafty Castle. We are continuing today with the Christmas in July theme, and today we are doing some really cute Christmas cards that right now, if I had to guess, I'm probably going to end up sending to my niece and nephew, who are actually my best friends' kids. So I pre-cut off camera. I did all of the stamping and some of the coloring because there's just a lot. So I am using the Lawn Fawn. It is, I can't remember the name of it right now, so I'm looking. The Holiday Helper set. I've had this set for a while. It's an older set of theirs, but I pulled it out of my, which I still forgot to video. I promise, no, probably not next week. I will post something on Instagram in my stories today on Saturday, and you can see the pile of Christmas things because I just realized I forgot to film it again for this video. But anyway, I've had this set for a while. I actually got it when a local scrapbook store near me was going out of business and they had a sale, and that was probably like 2018. 2019? Maybe it was 2019. I don't know. I went with my bestie and we went and we bought some stuff, and this was one of the things that I got, and it's really cute, but I haven't used it. I'll admit, I was intimidated by it. There's a lot of little tiny images in it, and I was kind of feeling like, ooh, that's a little overwhelming. Haha. But I'm so glad I finally used it, and I think these cards came out adorable. While I was making them, I wasn't so confident that they were going to come out okay, but in the end they did. So I'm actually making 2 cards today, and right now I'm just coloring everything for the first card. I don't show you all of the coloring. I only show you coloring for the first card because it's the same between both cards, just different colors, and y'all didn't want to see all that anyway, so you'd get bored. Just like last time when I didn't show you all the coloring on the flower, because you would get bored watching all of that, I'm sure. So same kind of deal here. I'm just using my Copic markers on this one. I like to use my Copic markers on Lawn Fawn images because to me the images are a little bit more, I think I may have mentioned this last time, but I'm not sure. The images are a little bit more of like a cartoony style. Like imagine them like coloring books or like children's book kind of things. And so I tend to do a little more simple coloring compared to when I'm doing something like the flower from last week. That's a little more, I don't want to use the word adult image because that sounds weird, but it's a little more grown-up image. Like I would find the flowery thing from last week in like an adult coloring book, where this stuff could totally be stuff I would find in like a kid's coloring book. So I tend to use my markers a little bit more because I am less comfortable with fine details in my markers than I am in my pencils. So that's what I do. Although I have to admit, I'm not sure I've ever tried to color a Lawn Fawn image in a pencil. Or, well, in a pen, you know what I mean, in colored pencils. And I think I really want to try it now. So that may be a video coming soon. Not in July, but maybe something in August or September. We'll see. I don't know. I'm thinking about it now, though. So the first card, I decided to go with non-traditional colors because I have just been itching to play with turquoise and pink for a while, and they're kind of Christmas colors if you go like the non-traditional Christmas color route. And I like that. I do like to play with non-traditional Christmas card colors for sometimes, and honestly, looking ahead to all of the videos I have coming up for Christmas in July, I have a lot of very traditional looking Christmas cards, slightly non-traditional, but also very like traditional colors and things like that, and I just wanted to have some fun with some non-traditional colors. And I messed up coloring my little girl there. She should have had a pink outfit to go opposite the boy's teal outfit, but I made an oops, but that's okay. It still looks good. It's fine. I'm just disappointed that I did it wrong because I wanted it to be the other way. And I could have just restamped her and I could have just restamped it and done it again, but decided to just roll with it because sometimes, you just roll with it. Okay, now let's have fun. So I am using the Lawn Fawn. I don't remember the name of this die. It is a giant Merry Christmas. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It's a giant Merry Christmas die. and I'm going to use it on both cards. And the first card, I'm going to do just an ink blended background. And I have to say, both cards today were inspired by Jen Shirkus, and I will try to remember to link her social media and her YouTube and all that kind of stuff in the description box below. If I don't, yell at me in the comments so that I can go back and do it. And so I took her class as part of Crop and Create. You can check out, I have 3 vlogs on my channel from that. And these were all inspired by the cards that we did in her class. So we had the giant hooray die that we used in her class to make some birthday cards, and I loved it. And they were so fun, and I had a bunch of the giant dies already that I hadn't used, and I decided I was going to use some of the techniques from that to do these. So this one I just ink blended, and here you can see I'm starting to put the card together. So I just have some pattern paper that I had chilling around because I'm trying to use up my pattern paper too. More on that next week. But I am on this mission to get through some of my, honestly, just my cardstock in general. My cardstock stash is a little out of control. And I just had a birthday a couple weeks ago, and which means I've been stamping for like math. I've been stamping for like almost 20 years now, I guess. And which is kind of crazy to think about. I think it would be 18 technically. And my cardstock collection is a little out of control, and it needs to get a little under control, so I'm trying to use stuff up. So I had this pattern paper I got out of a magazine, who knows how long ago, because I don't really even know, but it was cute, and the colors matched, and it wasn't to be too busy for the scene that I was doing. And it's not really a scene per se, it's just cute. But I had originally tried to, you just saw me try to lay everything out, and that didn't work. So I don't think I said the colors that I ink blended with either, because I think I got distracted talking about cardstock. The colors I used to ink blend were Gina K Designs Passionate Pink and Gina K Designs Turquoise Sea, and then when they mixed in the middle, they made this fun purple color. And in the pictures you'll see it looks very purple, but I think that's just because of how I had the pictures. And I put the purple, yeah, you don't care about that, we're getting sidetracked. So first, I tried to lay out the little pieces to try to like plan out and map out the scene I wanted to create. Then I quickly realized I do not own press and seal or any of those lovely tricks that y'all have to put together and make your scenes. So there was just no way it was going to go back the same way twice. So then I was like, you know what? We're just going to start sticking things down and see how it goes. So that's what we did. So I just kind of set it up to be like the elves are kind of like trying to pack the Christmas presents. I actually think the second card comes out better as far as the layout goes. I got a little more creative, and I think it comes out a little bit better. But this one's cute too. It is very kind of busy. You can see I still have a couple pieces left over, but it's all good. Now on to the second card. I start putting this one together before I realized I never made the greeting. So I have, again, some Christmas pattern paper that I had. I'm pretty sure this might be from an old Die Cuts with a View Christmas like paper pad, but I don't know which one. Sorry. But like I said, I have paper pads that I ripped apart, and that was one of them, and I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. I'm also I put the foam squares on the wrong side of the rectangle, and so I had to fix that off camera too. This part also goes horribly wrong, and I cut all that out because none of y'all want to see it, trust me. I cut the mask backwards, which I always do, which is why I should switch to my masking magic instead of trying to use up my Inka-Dinka-Doo, because I don't know why I can never remember that you don't like use the blue, you don't like stamp or whatever on the blue side, you do it on the white side, and that just doesn't stick in my brain for some reason, where like the Gina K Masking Magic has writing all over it, so I can't make that mistake. But one of these days, I will use up the rest of that Inka-Dinka-Doo masking paper, and then we'll switch to the Masking Magic, and life will be grand, right? So I had tried to do this the same way that I did the Hooray dies in Jen's class, only to discover the letters are connected differently on this die. On the Hooray die, they're all connected at the top. On the Christmas die, most of the letters are connected at the bottom. So what Jen had us do was cut just like the top part off, and like mask off the middle part of the letters, and that was that. And I quickly realized that meant all of my letters got disconnected, and it just got very difficult. So all I did was cut off the Mary part of the die, and then be very careful to make sure I left a little bit of white at the top when I ink blended the red velvet. That's Gina K Designs Red Velvet ink, and over the middle. And then I went through and I kind of just ripped off a sort of kind of not really straight line across the Christmas letters. It's far from perfect. The technique, the strategy here is sketchy, to say the least, but it works out in the end and actually comes out really cute and really pretty, and I'm really, really happy with this one. So I love doing this. I want to do this with all of my word dies now, forevermore. This technique is the best. So shout out to Jen for, I don't know if she came up with it all on her own, but I'm going to go with she did, because I feel like that's something she would do. So shout outs to Jen Circus for being the inspiration for this video. So I've just now ink blended on the bottom of the Christmas letters, and then I will pull off the masked part of the top of the Christmas letters, and you can see like how it comes off all in pieces because I have cut off or ripped off all of the pieces that are connected. So it's kind of, I gotta pull it off basically letter by letter, but it worked out in the end. So now if I was smart, which I wasn't, we've already established that, I would have done the last part first, and I would have made this greeting before I even did the other ink blended one, but I did not do that and make smart choices. I made choices that made me have to do things in a weird order. So I am gluing the greeting down. You can see this time I didn't even try to lay out my things before I stuck the greeting down. I just stuck it down and then started messing with stuff. And I realized my little elves are very, very cute if I stick them up on top of the Christmas letter, which is a total space that I didn't even think to use when I was doing my other one. So I stuck them up there, and it's basically kind of the same process. And you can see that, I colored everything in red and green on this one compared to the teal and pink in the other one. And I'm just doing the thing. I'm just gluing them all down however I want them to be. And you'll see like I will lift some up and stick things behind them. I did get smart and use the liquid glue on this one, which I didn't do on the other one, which made it a little bit easier to shift and move things around. It gave me a little more time to play with things compared to when I used the tape runner on the other card. It wasn't horrible on the other card because I use a dot runner, which gives you a little bit more wiggle room and is a little bit easier to pick up and move things if you want to or need to, compared to like a solid, like I feel like solid tape runner is not the right word, but I think you know what I mean. Like the Stampin' Up! Ones and the blue Tombow ones are not the dot runners, and they are, I don't know, I used to use only those ones and not the dot runners, and then I switched to the dot runners, and I will never go back again. So I'm a dot runner girl. Okay, here's the other fun part. So over the white, I'm going to use some stickles, and stickles are not a new to me product. Like, obviously they've been around forever and I've known about them forever, but I never really got into them. And I got a bottle of these clear ones in the Crop and Create box in March, and now they never leave my desk. So I have a bunch of Nuvo drops and things like that, and I keep thinking I need to bust those out a little bit more and play with them after I've been playing with these stickles. But if I had been smart, I would have done this first and done, and then I could have just glued the greeting down, but then I had to wait for it to dry. So really, it wasn't a big deal other than I had to wait for it to dry. Anyway, that's today's video. Today was a quick one. I kept it under 15 minutes, and that makes me really happy. That's always my goal. I very rarely get there, but I did it this time. So thank you so much for watching. I'm showing you leaving you with a few pictures here. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I will see you again soon. And have a crafty day.